Hey YouTube, it's Cyrus back with Great Sword Studios with another video for the first time in, wow, I guess 13 years. So please, at this time, I'd like to remind you, smash those like and subscribe buttons so you don't, nah, I'm just kidding. I'm not really a YouTuber. I'm just making this video today because I wanted to answer a question I've been getting from a lot of my friends and social media followers for the last several years now. And that question is, Cyrus, why don't you draw anymore? Okay, so obviously that's a really broad question, and it's got a lot of different answers. I'm happy to report that most of those answers are actually really positive in nature. But the reason I stopped to make a video, this video as a matter of fact, is one of those answers is actually really positive and very exciting and super awesome, and one that I wanted to share with you guys. You see, in 2019, I was approached by an independent board game designer here in Seattle who had reached the point where he was ready to bring his project to the design phase. I was contracted to be the 2D artist to produce the concept art for 16 miniature figurines that would then be passed on to a 3D engineer for final modeling. Now, before we go any further, I should take a moment to pass on his links to you right here so you can check out his artwork. It's fantastic. Got it? Good. Anyway, roughly in August of that year, I turned in all the work and it was passed off to Winston to do his thing. Later that fall, the client, Mike, reached back out to me and asked if I would be interested in providing illustrations for both the board game itself as well as a couple of illustrations for the manual. Flash forward to February of 2020, I've turned the last of those illustrations in, and then, yeah, you guessed it, COVID hits, world shuts down. So as you can probably guess, the resulting pandemic and all the chaos that ensued made it really hard to go ahead and get the game to its fully realized state. Nevertheless, Mike persisted, and now the game, almost 2 years later, has arrived here in the States, and Mike very kindly, very graciously reached out to me and offered me a comp copy. Guys, that comp copy, it's right here, and we're going to open it up in this video together. Alright, let's get started.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Okay, I've reconvened here in a different spot. As you can see, I have taken all of the packaging information off, so no one mails myself or Michael anything unsavory. Alright. First observation is taped very well. Okay, so you can see there under item name that is Rule the Realm. That's the working title that unfortunately it will not be keeping due to a copyright issue, which is well, it's a shame. It's a pretty cool name for a game. Okay. Alright, so here's the top. Moment to get that into frame for you guys. That is not my artwork there on the top. Take the shrink wrap off. Straight the back real quick. And yeah, several of that pieces there on the board. I did draw that. We'll look at it more closely in a moment. So far it looks very professionally made. They did a really good job here. I'm going to step out from behind the tripod for a moment, see if I can get this open. the rule book. Okay, so here's the board diagram, and yeah, several of these were things that I did paint in fall of 2019. The volcano there, the forest, the trees, this mountain right here. Let me invert that so you can get a better feel for it, and then the hills as well. And I think there's the mine right there. Let me zoom that in for you real quick. Looks like we gotta bring it back into focus. 4 players, 4 different colors. Seems pretty straightforward. Oh, check that out. I just noticed here. So these are the original illustrations here that he's got here flanking. That's I'll bring that in for you. That's the knight, and over here on top right is the archer. That is the original concept art right there. That's cool. Wasn't expecting that. Okay, runs us through the game setup. Pretty standard stuff there. Got some previews of the figurines that Winston designed. Movement and such. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, there's more original drawing right there. This little knight, that knight figure. That's pretty neat, I gotta say. I wasn't expecting to see quite so much of that make its way into the book. Light up was helpful. There's the ranger, I'll bring that in. Oh, okay, yeah, and so here at the bottom here of page 18, you got them all, it looks like. King, queen, wizard, mounted knight, ranger, knight, archer, catapult, and then the foot soldier. Oh, and then it looks like he's closing out here with the actual game strategies. That's always nice. And then we have some info about the cards, which that's new to me, so. At least that mechanic, I should say. Okay. Oh, okay. And here at 23 is one of the illustrations. This I think was, yeah, if I memory serves, this was the very last thing that I worked on for it. Was this requested grayscale? I can pull that in for you. Yep, there's my little signature there in the bottom. Add it back here. Credits. Oh, that's very nice. Got the credit, yeah. Winston Martin, yeah. Oh, and an index. Oh, that, I know, that's probably a strange thing for me to be excited about, but a lot of games don't actually have that on there, and that stuff's super useful. All right, so here on top we got some, oh, we got quick start things. That's great. Yeah. Unless we got 4, makes sense. It's up to 4-player game. Very nice. All right. And this, yep, this feels like the board. Oh, it's got some heft to it too. Bear with me a second while I get everything opened up and frame here, hopefully for you. Yeah, I think we can see everything there. Yeah, quality's good. Clarity's good. This will hold up to some playtime too. Yeah, printer did an excellent job on this one as well, if I say so myself.
A few moments later.
Alright, so here we have the queen, it looks like. This one does look like it used very close to the original design. And so the story with this one was, when Mike was first describing the project to me, he mentioned, as does the manual we've already seen, that chess was a real point of inspiration for the game design. And so keeping that in mind, I wanted something that would kind of look like the classic queen. So I went with this updone, or I did her hair up. I think that's how you say that. Look, I draw. I don't use my language, and so I think that kind of is reminiscent of it, while still being, you know, super regal. Yeah, so this is clearly the knight. This one does not look very much like my initial concept drawing, and I think that's the right call. I was struggling to make sure I got enough detail on this one so that Winston would be able to do a, well, to get it 3D rendered, and that meant giving up some of the dynamism of the actual drawing. But he very clearly put that back in there from the information, so I think that was pretty much a good call on my part. I think yeah, that definitely worked out. All right, that brings us to, looks like, yeah, this is the archer. Yeah, this one's very close, even down to the helmet and the chainmail on the neck. That's cool. Then we got one of probably, I'm assuming 10-foot soldiers. Yeah, you can even see the rivets there in the padded armor. That's pretty cool. All right, moving right along here. Let me see if I can find a new one to show you. Here we go. This one's pretty clearly the ranger. Yeah, this one's more like the mounted knight. It's definitely the costume and design, but the figure's been changed. And yeah, once again, totally the way to go. This looks pretty cool. This guy definitely looks like he'd mess you up. But all the detail that I was thinking is retained there. Yeah, I actually like this one a lot. All right, we got the catapult. Oh, let me hold it correctly here. Here we go. This is probably the most challenging thing I worked on, just because it was, it's purely mechanical. Getting the angles worked out was tough. But, final product looks good. Okay. Now here's the knight. Yeah, I went with a two-handed greatsword. It's kind of my brand, literally. Looks like he did not go quite well. Nah, I believe I'm thinking of a different illustration. I was about to say I think he changed the pauldrons a little bit. Okay, so now we got the king. Like the queen, I was really trying to play up the chess piece part of it. So I've got a lot of medieval Christian iconography on this guy. And as far as character, I was hearkening back to a television show that I'm sure no one remembers on ABC from the early 90s, Covington Cross. And I kind of had the actor who was the lead actor on that short-lived series in my head, as far as like his hair and facial features and such. He's more no, I apologize, I'm completely blanking on his name. I'll try and put it in the description below. But yeah, he was very, very famous for playing Arthur in Excalibur from '81. Yeah. But yeah, that's definitely at least where my mind was at. More of a Charlemagne kind of Arthurian type. Let's see here. Anything else we haven't seen here yet? Oh, here we go. Found a wizard. Yeah. Mike was, I think, in a very much a Gandalf kind of way, or frame of mind, rather, I should say, when he asked for it. So that's kind of where I went with it. Yeah. The outstretched hand is a little bit different from the photo, but otherwise, this is pretty much what I drew and designed. I think that may be it as far as the figurines. So let's jet right along here, back into the box. Let's see. Got some. Oh, you know what? No, I apologize. There are more figurines. So these are the creatures. It looks like. I guess there are more freebies. All right. So we got a centaur. Yeah, and I don't know why, but for some reason in my head, a centaur should have an undercut. And that's what I drew, and that is what Winston produced. You can see it here. At least I hope this is coming through pretty clearly. Yeah. Bow and arrow, because that was what Michael requested, and that's what he got. Well, this has got. Oh, yeah. This is the dragon. This one is very different, actually. Well, it is and it isn't. I guess the design of it is the same. Yeah. Four limbs and then wings. That's always how I've seen dragons. I'm not really a Game of Thrones kind of person when it comes to that. That's a wyvern, my nerd friends, not a dragon. But yeah, I think this is probably for spacing reasons, to make sure it would fit on one piece there. So he very, very cleverly has it perched on this rock. I think that actually looks really good. Not just done well artistically in terms of render, but the thought process was hard to argue with. All right, let's see. What do we got here? I don't know what this is. I think. Oh, you know what? This is probably the giant. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I didn't recognize. No. Well, what am I looking at here? We'll come back. It'll probably be more obvious in a second. What's it? Right, positive elimination. Here's the griffin. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I like the more dynamic pose he picked too. Same idea, but he's got it more outstretched. Feathers look really nice too. That'd be fun to paint. Okay, let's see. And here's the Minotaur. Yeah. Looks like he stuck to that one pretty closely too. Minotaurs are Minotaurs though. Only so many people with bullhead you can draw. Alright, this is probably the Cyclops. Boy, he's terrifying. Oh yeah, he's got the Warhammer with the claw pommel. Is that a pommel? I'm probably using the wrong word. With a counterbalance there at the end. It's like a claw gripping out thing. I just thought that would be neat, and that's how I drew it. Yeah. The sandals match as well. I went with more of a Grecian Roman legionnaire style. And it looks like the details there too. That's neat. All right. Oh, here we go. Here. No. All right. All right. Now this is the giant. Okay. Yeah. slightly different pose, in so much as the club is behind his back, but I actually really like that. And yeah, with a 3D render, they don't have to be worried so much about showing the detail to another artist. It's just for the player and the fan. So yeah, that's totally the way to go. Detail showing up really nicely too in the sculpt, as well as the final finished product. But that's what Mike had in his hand, and I was more than happy to go with that. The rest of it I think is pretty ogre-y as far as the description. I will note that they went I went maybe probably a little bit overboard with his belly in the initial drawing. And it looks like it's curtailed here, and I think that really works well. So I don't remember what this is. That's it looks like a troll. I don't remember drawing a helmed character. You know what? Let's consult the rules manual. Yes, it is a troll. And if I can remember back 3 years, I seem to recall a conversation to not worry about this one because he already had a design in mind. Yes, as a matter of fact, I think Mike's brother might have actually drawn that, had drawn that. And yeah, this looks great. So I would have kept that too. I'm really impressed with the quality of the figurines, to be real honest with you. They nice hard plastic, and a lot of the detail has come through from the render. Okay, now back to these other pieces. All right, so we got your castle. Very fortification pieces, pretty clearly. This is a house. Presumably, if you get 4 of those, you get a castle. But I may be thinking Monopoly. I'm not sure what that is. For real. Yeah, this pretty clearly becomes a fortification within the game. And then we have the tokens. Oh, okay, there we go. But that's what Mike had in his hand, and I was more than happy to go with that. The rest of it I think is pretty ogre-y as far as the description. Yeah. I will note that they went I went maybe probably a little bit overboard with his belly in the initial drawing. And it looks like it's curtailed here, and I think that really works well. So I don't remember what this is. That's it looks like a troll. But I don't remember drawing a helmed character. You know what? Let's consult the rules manual. Yes, it is a troll. And if I can remember back 3 years, I seem to recall a conversation to not worry about this one because he already had a design in mind. Yes, as a matter of fact, I think Mike's brother might have actually drawn that, had drawn that. And yeah, this looks great. So I would have kept that too. I'm really impressed with the quality of the figurines, to be real honest with you. They nice hard plastic, and a lot of the detail has come through from the render. Okay, now back to these other pieces. All right, so we got your castle. Very fortification pieces, pretty clearly. This is a house. Presumably, if you get 4 of those, you get a castle. but I may be thinking Monopoly. I'm not sure what that is. It's a real... Yeah, this pretty clearly becomes a fortification within the game. And then we have the tokens. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, so here's the coins. Front and back, Tovin. Perhaps that's a character in the game. Obviously I could check, but I can't imagine that'd be a great video for me just reading the manual to you guys.
A few moments later.
Well guys, I think that's it. Big thanks to everyone that actually asked why I had stopped producing content. That's always super flattering when people actually care what you're putting out into the world. Big thanks to Mike for bringing me on such an awesome project and then, you know, sending me the copy as well to share with you guys. The original artwork, if you're interested in looking at it, is available at my portfolio site. That's greatswordstudios.com. More importantly, if you're interested in buying a first edition version of the game, I will post that link in the description below. Reach out to Mike directly for your own copy. Thanks so much for watching.